Okay, good evening, folks. It is just after 9:30 on the 25th of May 2010. Hope everybody can hear me okay tonight. I must have had some kind of problems with the sound last night, and I apologise for that. Unfortunately, I have nothing doing again tonight anyway on the charts, so in terms of looking for any longer term stuff, um, just check back to the weekly analysis because there's not really anything changed on any of these pairs significantly anyway that would make me want to try and trade them. So what I'm going to do is just quickly run through a couple of pairs just to point out a couple of sort of DeMark sort of things. I did mention I was going to do a room um, at some point, maybe some weekend, um, but we'll use this as a sort of a time just to quickly go through a couple of possible ways of using DeMark. Okay, so we'll start on this pound dollar. At the moment, we have a 9 count buy setup, which is going to close out on Monday next week. So this market's probably looking to make a bit of a bounce here at some point. I mean, obviously, in the long term stuff, I'm hoping we're going to get down to the weekly TDST support first. But if we look at the daily chart here, we've made the TD buy setup already, and we're waiting on a bullish thrust bar to complete the TDF buy setup. So kind of the way it's looking at the moment, it's looking like it's trying to kind of bottom out and maybe make a thrust bar, and we might see some up movement from there. So that kind of gives us a wee bit of a clue possibly on the fact that the market could be exhausted, and because we're waiting so long on a thrust bar on the daily chart, once it finally comes it should probably make the market go higher. That's the sort of theory. So what you could do here is you could start to look through the time frames, and just had a bit of a look tonight, and we can see this TDST support level. We bounced from here, made a TDF bar, then we had a TDST support level build here, which we had a bounce from, and we've come down and tested that level again, having formed a buy setup already, and waiting on the thrust bar to make the TDF buy setup here on the hourly chart. So as you can see, we came down and sort of bounced from there again, then produced the TDF buy setup. So obviously on this TDF buy setup on an hourly chart, the risk is quite high. So the other thing you could do here is just kind of trying to show ways of going down the time frames. So we established from the higher time frames that we could be getting a bounce at some point pretty soon. So if we look at this TDST support level, the 1.4263 on the hourly chart, and then go down to the 5 minute chart, we can see today that we then even had a signal on the 5 minute chart where we bounced on that level 3 times and then made the TDF buy setup there. So yeah, this is just trying to show other ways of using the DeMark TDF stuff. Like obviously there's no real reason here to take this signal. You need to try and have sort of multiple reasons to actually take one of these signals, which would be a strong level, which you may get from the hourly chart, as I just pointed out, TDST support level, which is a strong level, and you need to have a bias on the market, which would be possibly the 9 count on the monthly, the fact that we're still waiting on a thrust bar on the daily, so we're maybe trying to bottom out here and make a thrust bar. So if you have a couple of reasons, then you can try and look for levels to trade. We'll look also at the US dollar Swiss franc. If we just get rid of these Sunday bars. Sorry, here we go. So today we're making a 9 count sell setup today, as you can see there. So it's looking fairly topish now. Unfortunately I took a short, maybe I was a wee bit soon with that, but it's looking a bit more topish now. So again, same kind of thing here. You want to see a reason that the market might be thinking about topping out, and then maybe move down the time frames to try and get in on lower risk, or to make sure there's some sort of confirmation on that setback. So I mean, here today we can see that we've had a TDF sell set up on the 4 hour chart here this time. We had a thrust bar just on that last 1600 bar today. I mean, so far it's moving lower. I mean, obviously this is only a 4 hour chart, so the risk is still fairly high. But it just shows how, we've got the 9 count on the daily. We've also got a 9 count on the 4 hour at the same time. So again, looking at this other signal, there's not really a great reason to take this one or even to take this one. But this one there is, because we're posting a 9 count on the daily chart. So again, that's a kind of more of a bias thing. Obviously, this means that we may well see a bit of a setback here. I mean, obviously we have one here which we didn't see the setback, but now it's looking a bit better because we've made the second target level. So in terms of the Fibonacci expansion, we've completed all that move now. So we'd maybe look to get a bit of a pullback from here. And then finally we'll take a quick look at the pound yen, which is not so clear, but we're completing a buy setup here on the pound yen today. Let me see, just get rid of these bars. Yeah, so we're on the buy setup here on the pound yen today, and again, this is another sort of, I mean, we can go down to the hourly chart here, and so we're on a buy setup on the daily, which is quite significant. Weekly, we're on the TDST support level, and we bounced, well, we closed above it last week, and obviously a chance we could close above it this week. For me anyway, I'd like to see it come back and test this level, so that kind of tells me we might get a bit of a bounce from here, which it's obviously not a qualifying count because the 8th bar is not the low, the 9th bar is not the low, but we could still see a bit of a bounce from here. So again, you could go down to the hourly chart and you can see we made the 9 count buy setup, and then we had the TDF buy setup, which sort of brought about the strength. Not so much a level here to play from, but still obviously quite a good signal, and we are on the 9 count on a daily, so that kind of gives you the upper time frame bias. So just a wee bit of a look through DeMark there. That's the kind of ways that you can use it, but just try and be patient and wait for these higher time frames to give you levels and bias, and then look down the time frames and look for any kind of clues to help you get involved. Okay, so hopefully we'll maybe get something on the charts for tomorrow to see how it goes. Okay, cheers guys.